Okay, so let's look at the alveoli. All right, so I'm just going to sort of draw a picture of a big alveoli. So the alveoli comes off of a bronchiole, terminal bronchiole, which is got smooth muscle on it. So this is my bronchiole. And the alveolus is made up of simple squamous epithelium. This is one of the slides that we used in AP1 to show simple squamous epithelium. So the alveolus is one cell layer thick. It's very delicate. So the alveolus is like a sphere. And I can't obviously draw in 3D, so we'll just have to make the best we can with this. So here's the alveolus, and again, this is a sphere, not a circle, okay? These are squamous cells. So little nuclei in there. Okay, and there are two types of cells that make up the wall of the alveolus. And the first type is called a type 1 cell. 95% of these cells are type 1. And these are simple squamous cells. These are the normal, the main cells that make up the wall of it. And this alveoli will be butting up against blood vessels. Okay. And it's doing that, it looks like that because this is where gas exchange occurs. So we have oxygen that comes in, and it will diffuse through this membrane here into the blood. And then carbon dioxide from the blood will diffuse across here to be breathed out. And that will go this way. Okay. All right, so the other 5% of cells here, not good colors, do this one. Okay, so the other 5% of cells are called type 2 cells. So this makes up 5%. And these cells are special cells. So I'm going to kind of make that a type 2 cell. These cells, first of all, they secrete something called surfactant. And surfactant is a little chemical that is barfed into the alveoli, and what it does is it decreases surface tension. Because remember when we talked about the anatomy, and when you breathe the air in, it gets all circulated in your nasal passages. And one of the things that happens is that it is humidified. It's moist. So water is coming down into the alveoli. It's coming into the lungs and it's going into the alveoli. And we know that water, due to its bonds, its covalent polar bonds, on a surface, it will create a surface tension. Because if we have, if you have oxygen, that's what the, water looks like, H2O. And then remember, water molecules come together through hydrogen bonds. They kind of stick together with other water molecules by the attraction between the oxygen and the hydrogen with those hydrogen bonds. And because of that, it creates a tension there. And without the surfactant going in here, the alveoli would collapse. So it decreases the surface tension and it allows the alveoli to stay inflated. So it allows to stay inflated. Now, babies don't start making surfactant until like the 9th month. So that when they're born, they're making surfactant and they're able to breathe. But preemie babies aren't making that yet. So that's why it's very difficult when babies are born premature. They aren't able to breathe. And so they have to be given something in order to keep their alveoli inflated so that they can breathe until they actually start making it themselves. Okay, a second function of type 2 cells is that, let's put this in a different color. Okay, so type 2 cells also actively transport solutes out of the alveoli. When this happens, water follows. So water is coming out as the type 2 cell is pumping out solutes, and it's following that. The alveoli also have white blood cells in here, so macrophages. So if they're killing things and leave, we've got to get the stuff out. So there's, you breathe stuff in, macrophages taking care of some things. So those things have to be pumped out. And again, when solutes are pumped out, water follows, and the water leaves the alveoli as well. Because there is water coming in, if this didn't happen, we would end up drowning. The lung would fill up with water. So this keeps that from happening. Okay, this area here is called the respiratory membrane. And this membrane is where, as you can see, gas exchange occurs. So there's a basement, we've got the cells here, basement membrane, and then you've got the cells of the the capillaries here, and they kind of come together and create this specialized membrane called the respiratory membrane, and this is where a gas exchange occurs. Okay. All right, so that's the alveoli. Now we're going to start talking about the pressures and how the lungs and all are made to take in and breathe out air. And we're going to talk about inhalation and exhalation of air.